Hello and welcome to the morning sports briefing here on New Zealand Sports Radio. Yes, it is the 1st of December, the first day of summer, and it's a wet start here in Waihi to summer. Let's hope it improves. Unfortunately, the weather impacted some of our sport yesterday as well, and we'll bring you up to date with that in the cricket news, where New Zealand and West Indies were up for their third T20 game. We'll also bring you up to date with the rugby news as we get more information about how Super Rugby sides will be looking in 2021. Also, the Women's Rugby World Cup is set for expansion as well. In the basketball, we had the 18 in 18 last night action as well. And we'll bring up to speed with the motorsport action in both Formula One and also the supercars as well. We also had the curling qualifiers for the World Championships next year. And also we'll bring us up to date with some squash news. And this is your best way to start the day up to speed with all of the important sports news. And yes, unfortunately, that third T20 between New Zealand and the West Indies in Mount Maunganui was rained off. They only got in just over 2 overs, where the West Indies got themselves to 25 for 1. They were hoping to get in a 5-side game, but yes, the weather in the end meant that was the end of the series. Congratulations to Lockie Ferguson, who was the player of the series in that one. South Africa and England will play their third T20 game tonight. That starts at 5 a.m. I think it's 5 a.m. New Zealand time. England currently lead that one at 2-0. Over in the rugby, and the Blues have announced that their coaching team will stay the same next year. Leon McDonald will lead the way with the defence coach Tana Umaga and forwards coach Tom Coventry, with the backs attack and skills coach Dan Halingu, as well as Ben Afiki, who is the scrum coach there. So keeping that stability and what looks like a pretty stable squad of players as well. The Super Rugby squads will be announced on Thursday. Just one space really to fill, which is Bowden Barrett, who's heading off to Japan for his sabbatical. Expectation there that Zane Sullivan, Zahn Sullivan, the fullback who is playing well for Auckland, will get the nod for that gap there. Moving on to the Chiefs, and Brad Weber has announced that he'll be sticking around for another year with the Chiefs. What do you think? So we've got Triple T there, and reportedly that I've just gone blank as to the Chiefs. Sorry, the Waikato scrum half who's joining them there. But that's a good set of scrum halves that we are looking at for the Chiefs in 2021. As I say, full squads expected to be announced on Thursday of this week. The Women's Rugby World Cup from 2025 will be expanding from 12 to 16 teams. This is after the tournament has been expanded this in 2021 to include quarterfinals. Previously, it's gone straight to semi-finals. And it's good to see the growth of that tournament by World Rugby. Over in Formula One then, there we had a horror crash by early in the Grand Prix, which saw, let's be honest, the safety gear come out on top. The car was broken in half, and also there was a big fireball around it as well. French driver Romain Grosjean managed to walk away from that crash after he sat in the flames. So it seemed like nearly 30 seconds there. He will miss the final Grand Prix of the year. Max Verstappen finished second in the Red Bull, with Alexander Albon finishing third in that one. In supercars, and we have had a leak of the 2021 calendar. It hasn't been announced officially yet, but it looks like the New Zealand round will be in November from the 6th to the 7th. This year, there wasn't a round due to the COVID travel restrictions, and it looks like they put it towards the end of, or the penultimate round, so second to last race, being put out there so that the chances of travel are as high as possible. The actual venue is unknown yet, and we're looking forward to the full schedule to be officially announced over the next week or so. In the Sal's NBL, and we had a cracking game last night between the Harbour Breeze and the Wizards. The Wizards jumped out to a good lead early in the first half, but were dragged back by a very good second half performance by the Breeze, where they just shut down the Wizards, particularly in that third quarter, to take control of the game. The Wizards were led by McGoldrick, who scored 20 points and got 14 rebounds in there, but a much more a more spread out performance as from the Breeze, as Blair, Kelma Poto, and Kalahi Flu all made it into double figures, scoring that one. The rebounding of the Breeze in that second half was also impressive, both on the offensive side of the boards and on the defensive side. After, say, the Wizards had a very, very strong early first quarter and a half, and also probably halfway through the second quarter as well. Cracking game to watch on Sky. Tonight, we have the Dream up against the Breeze, the reigning champions against the undefeated Breeze. Battle of the Bridge. Should be an absolute cracking game, that one. Over in the curling, and due to the importance of the World Mixed Doubles Curling Championship next year, which will be an Olympic qualifier, they had a qualifier event. Normally it's the national champions that go, but this time 3 teams competed for it, and Jess and Ben Smith took it out. After being having to miss, this is their third time lucky, or hopefully their third time lucky, having to miss the going to the World Championships for personal reasons, and then COVID cancelling it this year. This will be hopefully their first time going off to the World Championships. So congratulations to Jess and Ben Smith. I wish them all the best in the World Championships next year. Over in the squash, and LeBron Chileche has the New Zealand number 3, who has not been able to travel this year, and so has been playing a domestic season, won the Squash Gym Summer Open Satellite title. So congratulations to him, beating his younger brother 11-6, 12-10, 11-2. LeBron, anyway, Kay was the runner-up in the national championships this year, but having a good season on the court. So congratulations to him. You have now started the day the best way, up to speed with all the important sports news. We'll be back at 8 p.m. this evening with the Driving Mall Show, where we'll bring you some awards from the Mitre 10 Cup action. Also, we'll review all the teams as well and tell you how well we thought they'd done compared to pre-season expectations. So we'll give them all a grade on their season's performance. So do join us at 8 p.m. this evening for the Driving Mall Show.